Shabbat Shalom. All right, so friends, we are going to do something just a little different, but really not that different at all this morning. And so you're going to need the Eitz Chaim Chumashim that are in front of you, those dark red books, once again, because I want to talk about a specific piece of the Torah. I'm going to put it in a larger context in a second, but I thought it would be nice if we had all learned it together first. So, if you want to turn to page 657 in the book of Vayikra, in the Eitz Chaim Chumashim, and then we're going to look at towards the bottom of the page. So I'll explain what's going on here at the verse 45. So the person, if you suspect that you have some kind of skin affliction, dermatologists, I don't know what these things are actually called, but whatever it is, some sort of leprous thing on your skin, you go to the priest. The priest does whatever the priest does to examine it, to figure out if this qualifies as the sort of leprosy that the Torah has an injunction against. And if that's true, then comes verse 45, right, where you see, as for the person with the leprous affection, his clothes shall be rent, so you tear his clothes, his head shall be left bare, that's not a problem for some of us, and he shall cover his upper lip, and he shall call out tameh, tameh, impure, impure. So the person who has this disease, once the priest says, "Yup, that's leprosy. You got it," they have to tear their clothes, uncover their head, cover their lip, which it's unclear if that's like this thing or a beard thing or probably a mask, whatever that is. And then as they walk out of the camp, because they have to go out of the camp to a special place where they're going to stay until they get better, and while they're on their way out, they themselves have to call out, "Tameh, tameh, I'm impure, I'm impure." Okay? Now the last background, which Ryan actually gave us a lot of great background already, which is this impurity. What does it mean to be impure? You can't do what? The main thing is you can't offer sacrifices at the temple. I hear socialize. That's the worst thing for you, Etta, would be to not be able to socialize. That's right. But no, it is that you can't socialize. You're ostracized from the community, but you're not allowed to offer the sacrifices. Impure has a lot of sort of negative connotations in English. Tameh in Hebrew, maybe some of that still, but mostly it means that you're unfit to offer the sacrifices. You can't go up to the temple. Okay. So here's the reason we're looking at the page, and the people who are here with us often saw this coming a mile away. Turn to the person next to you. The thing I'm interested in right now is why you make the person call out tameh, tameh. Why do they, as they're walking out of the camp, they have to shout, "Impure, impure, impure"? Guys, I mean, if you're thinking Game of Thrones in your head, so am I. But why do they have to shout that out as they walk? So you're going to turn to the person next to you. You need no previous knowledge for this, my friends. The Torah is unclear. No one has any idea why this is true. If you don't know the person next to you, introduce yourself, say, "Hi, Shabbat Shalom, my name is Ethan, it's nice to meet you." Take 36 seconds. Why do we make the person call out impure, impure? Ready, set, go. Oh, no. Take 18 more seconds. Right, friends, so who's got an answer for me or a chavruta they'd like to volunteer an answer for of why we make the impure person, as they're walking out of the camp, shout in front of them, Tameh, Tameh, I'm impure, I'm impure. All right, I see a couple of hands. We're going to, yes, please. And I'll repeat it for everyone, don't worry. Great. So it could be like biblical health code here, that it's their way of saying, stay away, stay away, stay away. Yeah, you want to jump in here, Gabby? Oh, it's another one. You're just so excited. Great. Right. It could be the way of saying, stay away from me, right? Don't come shake my hand. I have this thing going on. Great. Yes. Sister of our bar mitzvah. Okay. Nice. Great. By the way, I like to tell you all that you've intuited the classical commentaries. Sforno says exactly what you said, that it's about the health code. Kli Yakar, Rabbi Ephraim of Lunchitz, says exactly what you guys just said. Yeah, you guys are there. Right? He says, the point is, how did you get this leprosy in the first place? You sinned. And by the way, probably like one of the things the rabbis say is you sinned by speaking slander, right? By saying something. And so the fact that you walk down the street saying, I'm impure, is how you begin the process of tshuva. You are sort of publicly confessing, I did something wrong. That's why I have this skin disease. So I'm going to walk down the street and say it. Very nice. Do I have more? Yeah, doctor, please. Is the tumah transmissible, do you mean medically speaking or like religiously speaking? Right. So you're going with our Siegel-Sforno hypothesis here, right? That this is about keeping people safe from touching the stuff and getting either the leprosy themselves or the negative, the tumah. Great. Could be. We got, you're intuiting most of the commentaries. There's one that you haven't caught yet, but that's okay. I've got two here, and then we're going to keep going, I promise. It's okay. It's Gabby. You're good. It's, yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Gotcha. Okay, so Jonathan, first of all, bonus points for quoting another rabbi in your answer, but points off because it wasn't me. Okay, it's a wash. But the idea that leading up to this point, if you're reading along, there were a lot of options that you had to confess, to make right, and this is sort of a last resort. Right? If you really don't, and people who got a weird email from the Balakinwood rabbis are thinking exactly what I'm thinking right now, right? As a last resort, you do this public shaming kind of thing, or a public confession, because they had so many options to get out of this. Okay, I got one more, and then we're going to keep going, because, kiddush. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. So Rabbi, you and David and the Midrash and the Talmud all agree, right? That maybe one of the reasons why you make the person walk down the street and say impure, impure, is not because you're trying to shame them or have really affect them at all. It's so that everyone else sees that person and, according to the Talmud, knows that they should pray for them. And they should think about them, and they should do nice things for them. And I want to use that to get into a quick, just give me a few moments here, and then I promise we'll continue with Musaf. Because I think in our world today, the shouting of Tameh, Tameh has a real appeal. We're all feeling a little angsty. We're all scared. There's a lot going on. And when we see a thing that we think, we want to say, that is impure. That's not Yoni, he's fine. That's impure, right? The idea of shouting, impure, impure, I've labeled it, now get out of the camp, done, haha, is enticing. I feel it myself. And I witnessed it. This is a longer story, but it was recently, I witnessed a fight in traffic of two people about, who was supposed to go when and who was supposed to go where, which is like still new to me in the Philadelphia world. In the Midwest, like a Wisconsin traffic jam is because everyone's going, oh no, you first. Oh no, you first. But I was witnessing two people yelling, and I kind of thought to myself, this is not about the parking spot. Right? This is people are so angry, and when they see a place where they think they can vent that righteous anger, they're heaping it all. Like they're trying to get as much out as they can on that person or that thing. And it's enticing, and it's in our tradition even. By the way, we're coming up on the holiday of Pesach. On Pesach, what do we do that we got to do for the next week? You vacuum your drapes because you got to get rid of what? Chametz, right? Chametz must be destroyed. And what we teach on Pesach is not only that chametz is something that we have to get rid of. Chametz, according to many of our rabbis, Rabbi Bachia Ibn Pekuda says, chametz is a representative of our own sins. Chametz is a representative of our arrogance. Chametz is a representative of the things about us that we want to get rid of. And so when we go through our house trying to get rid of, sorry friends, I'll translate, chametz means bread. Bread on Passover, when we try to get rid of this bread, we're getting rid of all the things about ourselves we don't like. And Passover teaches us, is this possible? Yes. Right? Passover says you can, if you work hard enough, if you vacuum everywhere, if you do everything you can, all of the bread in your possession will be completely nullified. Don't look at the whiskey on the shelf. That got sold to someone else. No. All of it's gone. Absolutely all of it. And it's a real feeling that we want to have, right? The ability to actually change who we are. The ability to actually get rid of something in the world that we wish was not there. It's enticing, and it's part of our psyche. Pesach kind of leans into that for us. But Pesach is once a year. And what we all know, because we have 100 million different ways to get around it, by the way, if you want to sell your chametz, do so this week, please, at the shul. Right? We have a million ways to get around it. It's actually not possible to get rid of all the bread. It's actually not something we're able to do. And Vayikra reminds us of that. Because while we want to shout Tameh, Tameh at someone, or they shout Tameh, Tameh, right, the main point of that is they're going out of the camp so that what? They can come back in again. This whole process, whether it's about keeping everyone else safe, whether it's about them beginning the process of tshuva, or it's about indicating to other people that they need help, it's all about bringing people back in. Because there's actually no one, according to our tradition, that is so far out of bounds, they can't be brought back in. And so when we see something that we don't like, and we want to rally the troops, and we want to ostracize, and we want to say Tameh, 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 they might need to go out of the camp for a minute. That's okay, that's part of this, right? And it might be something we want to protect other people from. And they might need to do some tshuva before they can come back in. But we also need to do some praying and some thinking as well. And the goal needs to be to bring everyone back into the camp. The goal should be to not leave anyone impure, to not leave anyone outside, to not leave anyone afflicted, but to think about how we can help them come back in. and how we can work with them so that it's possible. Shabbat Shalom, friends. Thank you for being part of our discussion. We turn to page 180.